a refinery of the body that helps to cleanse the entire body system. Liver diseases is silent killer. Do you know eating junk food, excessive alcohol consumption, drug abuse, cigarette smoking, and stress can cause damage in your liver?
As a pharmacist, I know that Silibon is a clinically proven, recognized liver protector that helps cleanse and protect your liver while you enjoy your lifestyle. Use Silibon 70 mg to 140 mg twice daily. It is approved by NAFDAC.
Silibon is marketed by Micronova Pharmaceuticals Limited and available at major pharmacies near you. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor. Silibon protects and improves your liver health.
From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Ayotunde Balogun.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, Governor Siminalayi Fubara doubles down on his stance against perceived saboteurs of his administration, vows to probe the governance of Rivers State and take tough decisions no matter how painful they may seem. The Kogi State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja reserves judgment in the petition filed by the Social Democratic Party and its governorship candidate against the election of Governor Usman Ododo. INEC says it's set to commence continuous voter registration in Edo and Ondo ahead of the governorship elections in the two states coming up later this year. And Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress picket offices of the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission and distribution companies across the country vow to resist electricity tariff hike until the decision is reversed.
On business news tonight, latest report from the central bank shows commercial banks cut loans to government by 73% in March.
On sports news tonight, Nigeria Football Federation unveils Kennedy George as Super Eagles' new head coach after signing a one-year contract with a 53-year-old former player.
And from the nation's capital, the president calls for collective efforts to address the challenge of gender-based violence and inequality in Africa. Launches the hashtag We Are Equal campaign in Abuja.
And in international news from London, fierce fighting has been reported in Jabalia in northern Gaza after the Israeli military went back into...
No matter how hurtful they may seem.
When I said that I had a reason for being patient, it is because I know that we are all from one family. And if we have a disagreement, no matter how bad it is, it should be resolved. But it has become very clear that this disagreement, there is no headway to it. And for a lot of reasons, there are very, very visible evidence that there is sabotage, deliberate attempt to sabotage this administration. For that reason, we have to move forward. Yes. And moving forward, if it means taking decisions that is going to hurt anybody, I'm happy that you're already a son before coming in. It means that you must have been a thorough man. It's not the one that while you're here, they now pay money to give you son. when you become the son, the only thing you do is to sabotage government. Like I said, you will get your reward, not in this world, this world. Let me also say this. You have a big tax. As it is today, in the local parliament, they said the jungle has matured. We will be setting a panel of inquiry to investigate the affair of governance.
Meanwhile, Governor Fubara used the opportunity to respond to comments by former Attorney General of the state, Professor Zacchaeus Adango, and his counterpart in the Ministry of Works, Alaba George Kelly, following their resignation from his cabinet.
If in 2010, I was a chief accountant level 13, those of you who know the civil service, where will I be before 2023? So when you see people, because you want to impress your paymaster, you talk carelessly. I won't reduce myself to that kind of talk. Yes, I am the only governor in this state that, in the whole federation, where local government chairman will come and abuse, I take it. But I wish them well. I wish them well because even if it's a mistake, by the special grace of God, I'm here today. Yes. God doesn't make mistakes. Not a mistake. And let me also appeal to them. Let them continue to make mistakes.
Still in Rivers, the swearing-in of Mr. Dagogo Iboroma as the State Attorney General came shortly after he was confirmed by a group of lawmakers in the State House of Assembly, led by Victor Okojumbo. Now, during the screening, the Senior Advocate of Nigeria pledged to uphold the rule of law and serve the state diligently. Also at the day's proceedings, the lawmakers adopted the Government House Auditorium as the new chamber of the Assembly, following a motion moved by the House Leader, Sukari Goodboy.
It's the first legislative session since the election of new principal officers for members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, loyal to Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and the Speaker, Victor Okojumbo, presides over the House. Also present in the hall are some principal officers and former members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Before the main business of the day, the Speaker commends Governor Fubara for providing an auditorium for the lawmakers as a temporary chamber.
Before we proceed, the leader, please move a motion for this auditorium and admin block, the Rivers State House, Government House, to be adopted as the hallowed chambers pursuant to the Executive Order RVSG 001-2023 for the temporary relocation of the sitting of the River State House of Assembly.
A motion is then moved by the leader, Sukari Goodboy, for the adoption of the auditorium as the new place for conducting legislative business, allowing the Speaker to read Governor Fubara's request for the screening and confirmation of Mr. Dagogo Iboroma as Commissioner in his cabinet.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable members, I forward the name of Dagogo Iboroma, SAN, for screening and confirmation as a commissioner nominee in the Rivers State Executive Cabinet.
Mr. Dagogo Iboroma, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is grilled by the lawmakers regarding his understanding of the rule of law.
What you have seen that is happening in Rivers State, then advise us how best you can handle that office, and will make us go out of it immediately.
I've gone through your CV, all has been legal practice, but we still know that the Commissioner of Finance too, we are having vacancy there. If today we are presuming that you'll be deployed into that ministry, what will you offer?
Everybody, including this distinguished house, should be guided by the rule of law and nothing else. No other consideration. If we follow the rule of law, we shall get out of all forms of crisis, and at the end of the day, we shall prevail.
After that, he's confirmed through a voice vote.
All those in favor that Iboroma Dagogo, SAN, should be confirmed As a commissioner in the Rivers State Executive Council, say aye. Those against, say nay. Any abstention? The ayes have it.
The House then is adjourned until May the 16th, 2024.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is set to commence the continuous voter registration exercise in Edo and Ondo states ahead of the governorship elections in the two states later this year. INEC is expected to conduct the governorship election in Edo and Ondo in September and November and ask the political parties adhere strictly to the May the 20th deadline for the nomination of candidates for the November election in Ondo State.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, is meeting with chairmen of political parties in Abuja ahead of the two off-cycle governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states in September and November this year. The national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, that of the Labour Party, and the Social Democratic Party are among those attending this meeting.
Following our first meeting held 2 months ago,
Top on the agenda for this meeting is the update on the preparations for the two forthcoming governorship polls in Edo and Ondo State.
Today's meeting will update party leaders on preparations for the Edo and Ondo governorship elections. As you are aware, the Edo State governorship election is holding in the next 4 months on Saturday, 21st September 2024, while the Ondo governorship election holds in the next 6 months on Saturday, 16th November 2024.
Regarding the election in Ondo State, the electoral umpire urges the political parties to adhere strictly to the deadline for the nomination of candidates, as the Commission resumes continuous voter registration exercise in the two states.
Turning to Ondo State, political parties have just concluded their primaries. 18 political parties conducted primaries monitored by the Commission. I wish to remind you that parties have 1 week to the deadline for the nomination of candidates. As the elections in the two states approach, the Commission has decided to resume the continuous voter registration in the two states to enable eligible citizens who are not registered as voters to do so.
The political parties, however, expressed concern on the low voter turnout recorded in recent elections and call for the restoration of an annual grant to political parties to mobilize voters.
We are deeply concerned by the low turnout in recent years, particularly in 2023 general elections. It calls for concerted effort by all stakeholders in the electoral process. The need to restore annual grants to political parties that was expunged from the Constitution by the National Assembly cannot be overemphasized.
This is the second time that the electoral umpire is meeting with political parties ahead of the forthcoming elections in Edo and Ondo State, which are the second major off-cycle elections to be undertaken by INEC after the 2023 general election.
In part two, after the break, Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi visits former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, and former Governor of Jigawa State Sule Lamido to discuss the state of the nation. Plus, the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress picket offices of the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission and distribution companies across the country over the electricity tariff hike. Please stay with us.
Your MTN line blocked? Simply link your NIN to your line to unbuy it. Visit an MTN office close to you today. But if you don't have your NIN yet, hurry to the nearest NIN. For more information, visit nin.mtn.ng. MTN. What are we doing today?
What is going on? Pressure, wow.
I'm so ashamed. No one wants to be my friend.
I think I'm anxious and depressed. I don't think this life is worth living at all. I don't think so.
I'm tired. Something is wrong. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Sometimes we feel all these negative emotions and think we're going to be fine. But no, emotions won't go away unresolved. You deserve to be happy, but you must do something about it. Visit your wellness clinic today for 24/7 access to therapists on your terms. Remember, you are not alone, and the path to wellness is worth exploring. Your wellness clinic. Recover, regain, relieve, because your well-being matters.
How do you make a complete meal in minutes?
Try AdMe. Done.
How do you make a tasty meal tastier?
Try AdMe.
Done. AdMe with its nutritional blend of vegetables, protein.
Feel that final touch.
The Duchess International Hospital caters to every aspect of the family's health needs. A one-stop shop for maternity and child health services, emergency medicine and critical care, medical and surgical subspecialties, dental and eye care, and a range of other subspecialties and services, all available at a single location right here in the heart of Ikeja. And it really doesn't matter if you're paying out of pocket using your HMO or private insurance. We focus completely on providing that world-class affordable healthcare for all the family at all times.
It's not dark, it's bright. Black is bold. Black is every color, all together. My thing, your thing, our thing mixed together. Black shines brightest.
New beginnings are always colorful. When we celebrate the start of life's journey, we marry in colors. With our proudly Nigerian Dulux paints, now available in any color. Express your world however you want it. Visit a Dulux color center to get any color instantly.
Dulux, let's color. The future belongs to the dreamers, to the doers, to those who are not afraid of the side hustle. It's for those who are ready to turn their passion into something big, and to help keep you revitalized and inspired. Talk Tea is with you every step of the way. You are made for more. Find your inspiration. Talk Tea, big round bags of flavor.
INEC says it's set to commence continuous voter registration ahead of the governorship elections in both states coming up later this year. Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress picket offices of the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission and Distribution Company Party in the 2023 elections. Mr. Peter Obi has visited former Vice President Atiku Godwin Emefiele May the 15th, 2024, for approving the printing of 684.5 million naira at the rate of 18.96 billion naira. The arraignment was originally scheduled for April the 30th this year, but was rescheduled following the agreement of the court and the parties. It was gathered that the former CBN governor will be arraigned on these counts before Justice Marian Aneni of the FCT High Court, Abuja. This arraignment will bring to 3 the number of charges pending against the former CBN governor. Organized labor today took their opposition to the recent electricity hike to the streets as they called on the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission to immediately reverse the tariff increase. According to the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, this is due to the untold hardship that the increase has caused Nigerian workers. The NLC president, Joe Ajero, who led the workers on the protest to the headquarters of the NERC and the Ministry of Power in Abuja, warned Labour will continue to resist the hike in electricity tariff if government fails to address issues in the power sector. Our correspondent, Dele Omoyeni, reports.
The Trade Union Congress, TUC, and the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, alongside their various affiliate unions, stormed the headquarters of the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission in the Central Business District area of Abuja, chanting and singing. The president of the NLC, Mr. Joe Ajero, lists Labour's demands.
NEC should change their own policy of increasing tariff. Unknown to some of us here, NEC's policy of increasing tariff is based on inflation and the value of the currency. So if NEC, with what they have done now, they have created inflation, they will still go back to increase tariff because of inflation, which they created. Can you see how people are benefiting from their own wickedness? Right. So, comrades, we are here to make this statement clear that we are not just saying don't increase tariff, don't increase tariff. You can't increase tariff for nothing. Nigeria should work with the movement, labor movement, to see how we can improve the power being generated today.
However, the leadership of the NERC did not show up to address the workers, which further escalated the protest, leading to the workers forcing their way into the premises. Finally, the chairman of the NERC comes down to address the workers.
We have listened to you, we have listened to the concern of Nigerians, and we'll make adequate case and representation to the policy side on the issue of affordability of tariffs. The Commission has issued a number of orders on capping estimated bills by all discos, limiting how much they can bill you. But I think on a more on a better news for the Nigerian consumers is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the presidential metering initiative, giving deadlines to meter all customers in Nigeria. Any distribution company that bills you above the caps issued by the Commission, report to our forum offices, report to our office here, and we'll do the needful.
The workers then moved to the Ministry of Power, where they insisted that the minister address them. However, the minister was away at the Federal Executive Council meeting. Dele Omoyeni, Channels Television News.
Here in Lagos, another part of the country, the Labour Union also picketed distribution companies over the hike in electricity tariff, calling for the reversal of the decision. They also condemned the disparity brought on by labelling of the different bands for electricity consumers.
In Sokoto State, northwest Nigeria, leaders and members of organized labor marched to the office of the electricity distribution company to register their displeasure over electricity tariff increase. According to the leaders, the hike in tariff at this time is nothing but an attempt to stifle Nigerians.
The main purpose of our coming here, we are not happy, or we didn't agree with the increase of the electricity tariff. That's why we are here.
In Kaduna State, members of the Trade Union Congress TUC and Nigeria Labour Congress NLC are not left out as they picketed the headquarters of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company located in the state capital in line with the directives from their headquarters. Carrying placards with different inscriptions and singing solidarity songs, they kicked against what they described as segregation by the electricity sector through class differentiation in tariff allocation.
When you are going to do an increase in whatever supply you are giving to the nation, you're supposed to call the stakeholders on board to make meaningful decisions and way forward. But unilaterally, PHCN decided to hike the price of electricity in Nigeria. We say no to that, and we are rejecting in totality. We are saying that they should revert back to the normal price.
And And in Lagos, members as well as the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress at the office of the Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company to register their grievances, ensuring that the premises is under lock and key. Their move is in solidarity with their counterparts across the country to protest the hike in electricity tariff, harsh economic situation, and epileptic power supply.
The picketing is about the hike in the electricity tariff. And we can also see that government has also created a different platform for the rich and another platform for the poor. So that the rich, it's affordable for them to pay hike in the electricity tariff, but the poor, who is going to give us the money to pay for this new tariff?
Organized labor and some civil society organizations in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, also joined their counterparts across the country to protest the hike in electricity tariff, epileptic power supply, and other economic policies they describe as inimical to progress of Nigerian masses.
Already we are enjoying epileptic supply of electricity. Now they are saying we still have to pay more for what we are not enjoying. We are here today, enough is enough. They should please let the poor breathe.
And this case is going to remain off from now until this government reverses policy.
In River State, South Nigeria, members of NLC and the TUC shut down the headquarters of the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company in Port Harcourt, the state capital, over the recent hike in electricity tariff. Chanting solidarity songs, members of organized labor sealed the PHED premises, preventing staff of the disco from accessing their offices. Speaking to Channels Television, the NLC chairman in River State, Alex Agwanwo, says the recent hike is discriminatory and will further impoverish Nigerians.
That tariff is a discriminatory tariff, and it's not acceptable. So we are saying no to it. We don't accept it.
Still in the South region, but this time in Delta State, organized labor picketed the office of the Electricity Distribution Company in Asaba over the increase in electricity tariff, as they asked the government to reverse the tariff, as they are also demanding an end to the incessant power outage in the state.
The organized labor, TUC, NLC, is saying that they should go back, reverse it to what it used to be, and now follow the
As labor unions across Nigeria troop out to express their displeasure over the recent increase in electricity tariff nationwide, it is hoped that the government will heed the call of the unions and call for dialogue in order to resolve the issue and give Nigerians a pocket-friendly electricity tariff.
Go back!
Still ahead on the news at 10, latest report from the central bank shows commercial banks cut loans to government by 73% in March. That's on Business News. Please join us then.
Susie likes to live life on her own terms. And with her Visa prepaid card from First Bank, she has no worries shopping abroad or paying locally, as her card comes in USD or Naira variant. And she enjoys the liberty of funding her card as she desires. Susie got her Visa prepaid card from the First Bank branch nearest to her. It's valid for 3 years and can be personalized to suit her lifestyle. First Bank Visa prepaid card can be used on any payment channel, ATM, POS, and web. And if you're a corporate business organization, the card can be used as your budget card to sort out business expenses. In addition, the card can be co-branded to showcase your business. So, get a First Bank Visa prepaid card from any First Bank branch and enjoy a budget card that suits you. You first. First Bank.
Enjoy the delicious creamy goodness of cowbells. With Vitarich and vitamin B9, which supports brain development. Cowbell. So creamy, so good.
On my dark marks, I've tried everything. Nivea Lumina 630 works from day one with visible results in just 2 weeks and 71% dark marks reduction in 12. Join the 1 million women already using Lumina 630 from Nivea.
Black, it's not dark, it's bright. Black is bold. Black is every color all together. My thing, your thing, our thing mixed together. Black shines brightest.
Do you know that you can now print all your essential items for events without even having to leave your home? It's the Cast Print Combo Deal for all events.
Yes!
Weddings, conferences, birthdays, burials, etc. Starting from 495,000 Naira only. You get 50 invites, 50 A2 size posters, 50 16-page brochures, 1 large backdrop banner, 1 roll-up banner, 50 jotters with pens, and 50 souvenir carrier bags. Whatever event you're planning, we can adjust to your budget and quantities. Just send your pictures and other information through WhatsApp, and we shall send a design for your approval. Approve your design, and we will produce with super high-quality digital print technology. We can even arrange delivery to your location. Call us now on 0913-156-5016 or 0812-794-9323 or visit our social media pages. Cast Prints, digital printing at super speed.
What the? Today, Abu got a really expensive ride. Chill, Abu. Use InDrive and negotiate for the most fair price for you. InDrive, people driven.
Oh no! After a party, Binta needs a safe ride. Binta, get InDrive and choose rides by driver's rating, car, and time of arrival. InDrive, people driven.
How do you make a complete meal in minutes?
Try me. Done.
How do you make a tasty meal tastier?
Try me.
Done. Add me with its nutritional blend of fat. Gives your meal that final touch.
Done!
Where's Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello? Where's Glory now?
I didn't hear you.
Don't go village. Tell all our customer, Abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Globe dedicated 10x. Now he might take tension my customers. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you they enjoy up to 15,000 Naira credit and data.
And I say I never finish you. See, when I say we enjoy, if I join Globe dedicated 10x, when I go get 1,000 Naira welcome credits. Really?
Gulo, you don't win.
Oh, now see they here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Globe.
This says now Globe they fine. Now Globe they go.
Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Globe Berekete 10X. You also get 1,000 Naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
Capital, where Terry Kumi is standing by to give us the very latest from our Abuja studios. Hello, Terry. Great to see you again.
Good to see you as well, Ayo. Let's go to the presidency now, where the president has called for collective efforts to address the challenge of gender-based violence and gender inequality across African countries. He made the call at the launch of the hashtag We Are Equal campaign at the banquet hall of the State House, Abuja, attended by first ladies from various African countries. President Tinubu says his administration is determined to promote the education of the girl child through various programs and policies.
We are equal. We can repeat that again. We are equal. With the theme, hashtag, We Are Equal campaign, that all our children, regardless of gender, must participate in an inclusive opportunity We must be conscious of the fact that the empowerment of women and girls is essential to achieving each of the United Nations Sustainable Goals. We must work together, promote laws and policies that protect and promote women that are accessible to all. We will continue, I promise you, to end gender-based violence and increase learning opportunities for girls in safe and conducive environment.
Meanwhile, the president has sworn in 2 commissioners from Ogun and Osun states as members of the National Population Commission. The short ceremony was witnessed by the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, Cabinet Ministers, and other government officials. The 2 commissioners, Honorable Fashua Abayomi Johnson from Ogun State and Honorable Amidu Tadese Rahim from Osun State, were sworn in just before the Federal Executive Council meeting commenced in the Council chamber. But over 4 hours later, State House correspondents were informed that the Federal Executive Council meeting had adjourned to continue on Tuesday.
Today's Federal Executive Council meeting is not yet concluded. Council meeting will continue tomorrow. Therefore, there will be no press briefing today. A lot of far-reaching decisions have been taken, and the conclusions will be made available to you tomorrow.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has directed all government ministries, departments, and agencies to procure compressed natural gas-powered vehicles as against the traditional petrol-dependent vehicles. Addressing members of the Federal Executive Council at the State House, the President affirmed that there is no turning back in the energy reforms initiated by his administration and tasked ministers to diligently seek value-driven procurement of CNG-compliant vehicles. According to a statement by the Special Advisor on Media to the President, Ajuri Ngelale, President Tinubu's directive is in furtherance of Nigeria's effort to transition to cleaner energy as CNG-enabled vehicles have been adjudged to produce lower emissions, even as they present a more affordable alternative for Nigerian energy consumers. Now, in spite of numerous security challenges the country is grappling with, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has assured Nigerians of the continuous commitment of service chiefs to the survival of the nation. General Musa said this while on a maiden visit to the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center in Lagos to have an insight into what obtains at the center. He also says military personnel must continue to discharge their services and play their role appropriately as a way of reciprocating the love President Tinubu has shown the military forces. Now to company news. Unilever Nigeria PLC, manufacturers and marketers of consumer products in the home, personal care and food categories, has held its 99th annual general meeting. At the event, which took place at the Civic Center in Lagos, the company announced the payment of 75 kobo per share dividend to its stake shareholders for the year ended 2023.
Business on a day-to-day basis.
For the 99th time, Unilever Nigeria PLC is holding its annual general meeting in line with relevant laws guiding company operations in Nigeria. This year's meeting availed all present the opportunity to deliberate on some key issues, but first an assurance by the managing director of the company, who promises to put the company on a sound footing.
Having our 99th AGM, all my intention is to make sure that we leave this business or put this business in a much better place.
After his assurances, it's time for deliberations. And at the end, shareholders give their impression about the outgone year.
We can see that the growth is very, very steady, which I want to really challenge you to please, you have to sustain this. Continual operations rose by 88% from 4.5 billion in 2022 to 8.4 billion. Kudos. That means the board and management, they are doing a wonderful job.
From the financial figures for the year 2023, profit after tax of 16,474,410,000 from 2023, from 5,378,519,000 for the year 2022.
Interim chairman of the board.
Unilever Nigeria PLC says it will remain focused on meeting the needs of Nigerians.
Our intention is to continue to reposition our portfolio and to ensure that we have the right mix of portfolio of purposeful brands that meet the needs of Nigerians.
Sometimes there's a point that you need to...
Management further acknowledges successes recorded in the year gone by and notes that the company has indeed come to stay.
Paying 75 kobo in 2023 is 3 times more than we were able to pay in the year before. So it's a great achievement, and I'm pleased for our shareholders that they participate so much in the success of our business.
Unilever is here to stay. We are committed to this market. We are committed to our customers in this market. And you can count on us continue to innovate and continue to provide excellent products into the market.
2024.
Unilever Nigeria PLC reiterates its resolve to remain tenacious and committed to continued investment, capacity building, and innovation with brands that are tailored to delight and satisfy its customers.
Well, let's continue with some business news in Lagos with Will Ebong.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Terry. Now, data from the Central Bank of Nigeria shows that commercial lenders reduced loans to the 3 tiers of government by 73.18% to 19.5 trillion naira in March, from 33.93 trillion naira in the previous month. Financial analysts attribute this to the government's rekindled interest in the fixed income market in March. The Debt Management Office had revealed that the federal government raised a total of about 11 trillion naira from auctions via treasury bills and savings bonds in 4 months. While yields on government securities are on the increase, it is still cheaper for the government to raise funds through the treasury bills rather than borrowing from banks. Meanwhile, investor confidence in Nigeria's federal government savings bonds soared with the April 2024 issuance, witnessing a substantial allotment of about 4.2 billion naira, according to the report from the Debt Management Office DMO. April's issuance marked a significant 45% increase when compared to March, where the DMO raised about 2.9 billion naira. This surge in uptake underscores growing investor confidence in the Nigerian fiscal stability and underscores the attractiveness of government securities as a reliable investment option with promising returns. The Akwa Ibom State government is calling on all indigenes of the state residing in the Federal Capital Territory and the diaspora to partner with the state in order to fast-track its development. Addressing indigenes of the state residents in Abuja, the State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Ini Ememobong, says diaspora remittances and investments from other residents in the nation's capital will go a long way in developing the states.
The essence of this meeting is in tandem with the democratic demand that people who are delegates of power must intermittently check the source of their power. The concept of democracy was that everyone should participate in governance. But having seen the impracticability that everyone cannot directly participate, so people now participate through their elected representatives. The governor, as a responsive elected representative of the people of Akwa Ibom State, has been briefing different segments of Akwa Ibom people. Later this month, we are going to have a media parley with all journalists. And so in different segments, he's spoken with professionals, and our diaspora community is a critical component of our existence. We take our diaspora community very seriously. And if you check, you know that, for example, India grew its economy using diaspora remittances. And the governor, being a compassionate leader, being a person who understands what community can do for people,
Now, a bit of relief for the Naira today as it gained 5 Naira 71 kobo to close at 1,449 Naira 80 kobo against the dollar at the NAFEX window. However, the Naira depreciated by 11 Naira 80 kobo to close the day at 1,478 Naira 11 kobo at the NAFEM window. Meanwhile, the Naira touched a 7-week low over the weekend, trading at 1,466 Naira to a dollar at the official window. And the domestic equities market got off to a negative start this week as the all-share index declined further by more than 0.5%. Laddie Williams tells us more.
Hello and welcome to the stock market report. Well, it's another day, another red close as the all-share index loses that 98,000 level, and now we're looking at 97,000 for the all-share index, down 0.5%. Market cap 55 trillion. Let's look at the sectoral performance now. We see the banking counter, as usual, pressured 0.75% down, almost 1% down today, 0.33% for the consumer goods counter. And the oil and gas counter is taking the shine right now, 5.90% down, deep in the red. Market mover today, Seplat Energy with a 1.7 trillion naira market cap, drags the market down with the likes of Access Core, Nigerian breweries, and we also see Access Core on that list. So financial services, consumer goods all join into that, plus the oil and gas counter, 2,962 naira. That's the close we have for Seplat. So it's another bearish start for the week right here for the NGX, and the bears have it today.
Thank you, Laddie. Another day for the bear. But let's have a snapshot of closing numbers for other major equities around the world. And that's it on business. It's back to Ayotunde for the rest of the news at 10.
Banking, so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Will. Donald Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen is testifying at a New York court in the ex-president's historic hush money trial. Here's Simon Pusey with other international news in Around the World in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London and with your international news around the world in 5. Fierce fighting has been reported in Jabalia in northern Gaza after the Israeli military went back into areas where it said Hamas had regrouped. Seen tanks advancing towards Jabalia's refugee camp, which has come under heavy bombardment since Saturday. Hamas's military wing also said it was battling troops east of the camp. Meanwhile, the UN has said 360,000 people have fled Rafah in the south since an offensive began a week ago. The Kremlin has announced Russian President Vladimir Putin has removed his long-standing ally Sergei Shoigu as defense minister. The 68-year-old has been in the role since 2012 and is to be appointed Secretary of Russia's Security Council. Papers published by the upper chamber of the Russian parliament said Mr. Shoigu will be replaced by Deputy Prime Minister Andrei Belousov. Russian government papers show Mr. Putin wants Mr. Shoigu to take over from Nikolai Patrushev on the powerful Security Council. Mr. Shoigu has close links with President Putin, often taking him on fishing trips in his native Siberia. The socialists of Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez have won Catalonia's regional election as pro-independence parties lost ground. The Catalan Socialist Party, under former Spanish Health Minister Salvador Illa, made substantial gains to emerge as the clear winner. With 99% of votes counted, it has secured 42 seats. Support for independence has dropped to 42% from 49% in 2017. That's according to Catalan's Government's Statistics Institute. Overnight protests in Georgia have continued into the morning in a last-ditch effort to prevent the passing of a controversial law. After a standoff with protesters outside Parliament in Tbilisi, security forces pulled out from the main square on Monday morning. The protesters oppose a controversial foreign influence bill described by critics as the Russia law. On Monday morning, governing Georgian Dream Party lawmakers rushed it through a committee vote, approving it in just 67 seconds. The bill, now due to go for its third and final reading, targets civil society organizations and independent media that receive foreign funding.
I am pretty sure that they will take this law, they will make what they want, and we're going to continue our protest as long as we will be able to. We will continue our protest till the elections.
I want Georgia to live in Europe. I do not want to wake up in Russia, and I really hope that our generation is going to have a bright future.
At least 41 people have been killed after flash floods and so-called cold lava flowing from a volcano hit the western Indonesian island of Sumatra. Hours of heavy rain on Saturday swept torrents of ash and rocks down Mount Merapi, the most active volcano in Sumatra. The mudslides inundated 2 districts and swept people to their deaths, damaging more than 100 homes, mosques and public facilities. 17 people are still missing. Local authorities say the death toll from a building that collapsed last Monday in South Africa's southern coastal city of George has reached 24. Efforts continue to rescue and recover 28 other people who remain trapped under the rubble. 81 people were in the partially constructed 5-story building when it fell. Out of the 29 survivors who have been rescued, 13 remain in hospital. Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye has hosted his Rwandan counterpart, Paul Kagame, at a basketball game in the capital city, Dakar. The game featured Senegal's AS Douanes and Rwanda's APR Basketball Club. Both teams are competing in the Basketball Africa League. Mr. Kagame is among the first leaders to visit Senegal since Mr. Faye, aged 44, was sworn in as Africa's youngest democratically elected leader in April. And night skies were lit up around the world by a spectacular display of the Northern Lights, with sightings seen widely across Europe, the US, and even in New Zealand this weekend. The lights occur when the sun reached the Earth, triggering breathtaking nighttime auroras. Here, the dazzling lights seen in the skies of Nottingham in central England. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. The Nigeria Football Federation has pledged full support to Finidi George after he was unveiled as Super Eagles' new head coach. The Football Federation signed a 1-year contract with Finidi George, mandating the 53-year-old to qualify the 3-time African champions for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. George has picked Daniel Amokachi and Benjamin James as his assistants. His first assignment will be the qualification game against the Bafana of South Africa at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo in June.
We'll support Finidi. We'll give him whatever he needed to work, and the issue of paying his salary will not be a problem by the grace of God. We are going to do our best to make sure that we support him.
I want to say I'm grateful to be standing here for this great opportunity given to me to manage the Super Eagles. I think it's not an easy job for anybody. For me, it's just to start working immediately, which I've been doing even before signing this contract.
Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has told his players that there is no room for error at Tottenham Hotspur, as he believes their hopes of a 4th successive title will be over if they drop points. Manchester City, chasing an unprecedented 4th straight top-flight English league crown, are 1 point behind leaders Arsenal, but crucially have a game in hand. Manchester City are chasing towards the finishing, or charging rather, towards the finishing line, hitting 28 goals in their past 7 Premier League matches and conceding just 5 times. Then Angel Postecoglou has said Tottenham Hotspur will go all out to beat Manchester City on Tuesday, though it could open the door to beaten North London rivals Arsenal to win the Premier League. Much of the talk ahead of the game has centered on whether Tottenham Hotspur fans will want their team to lose in order to deny Arsenal the chance to win the league for the first time in 20 years. But Postecoglou believes his players are focused on winning at his pre-match press conference. Then in tennis, women's world #1 Iga Swiatek has defeated Angelique Kerber 7-5-6-3 at the WTA Rome Open to set up a quarterfinal clash with Madison Keys. Swiatek is yet to drop a set and is favorite for a third Rome crown before she begins her French Open title defense later this month. The three-time Roland Garros champion arrived in the Italian capital off the back of a thrilling triumph in Madrid, her third WTA 1000 title of the season, after also winning at Indian Wells and Doha. That's it on sports. It's back to you, Ayotunde.
Many thanks, Chris. And the main news again. Governor Simonalai Fubara today doubled down on the stance against perceived sabotage.